Yo, good morning, folkers. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Snapzilla Gorilla. Welcome to the definition of anarchy. This morning I want to talk about this. I got a text message, a group text message from my sister, right? Because our family's in the group text. And she said, be on the lookout for white folks wearing Hawaiian shirts as a symbol, because they're white supremacists and whatever. And they're going around setting black women on fire. So I was like, okay, very interesting. So I looked this story up, and apparently a young woman, what they call a mixed race woman in Wisconsin, was in her car, passenger window down, when some white guys pulled up, sprayed her with lighter fluid, and threw a lighter to set her on fire. Okay. I guess she's learning to be an EMT, which is a good idea, everybody. You know, if you got somebody in your camp, you got somebody in your circle, your group, it might be a good idea if somebody learns how to become an EMT. All right. Valuable information. Anyway, so she puts her fire out, goes home, calls her mama, and then goes to the emergency room. Now, there's no, as far as I know, there's no video or anything of this. And there's a couple things wrong with this story, to me, in my mind. Number one, lighters don't stay lit if you let go of the gas valve button, right? Unless it's a Zippo. If it's a Zippo, you light it, and then you can hold it, and it'll stay on fire. It'll stay lit. That's number one. Number two, if I'm pretty alert. I have the skill to multitask. I'm a great multitasker. Okay, great multitasker, as you can see. I can function and focus on multiple things. I can keep an eye on what's in my periphery, all this other shit, right? I'm very alert when I'm driving. I'm very alert when I'm doing things. I always got my head on a swivel. I'm always looking at the different things. I'm seeing everything, looking at and looking for anomalies. But I don't know. If my face were set on fire, I'm not sure I would be able to, like, not crash. I don't know if she was at a stoplight or whatever. I don't know. But I don't think I would be able to keep the car straight. You feel me? But some people can do different things. Just because I don't feel like I can do it, doesn't mean that someone else can. You know what I mean? Then, if the lighter made it close enough to her face to set her face on fire, of course you got the vapors from the lighter fluid. You got the vapors. It doesn't necessarily have to be contact with the actual liquid. You can catch fire with the vapors. If the lighter made it far enough to set her face on fire, you would think she still had a lighter. Now, I don't know if she has a lighter or not, but that would have to be the case, right? I don't know. Unless it hit her face and bounced out the window. No clue. Now, if this story turns out not to be true, that's a major problem. Look, see, we have what's going on right now. What we got going on right now is the boy who cried wolf paradigm, where all these people are claiming racist acts, yet it turns out not to be true. It turns out to be fabricated, like Jussie Smollett. And then you have the Bubba Wallace situation, which is not like the Jussie Smollett situation. That was not a setup that wasn't set up by Bubba. Anyway, that's beside the point. That turned out not to necessarily be true. even though Bubba Wallace still believes that it was a racist supremacist act. Look, black folks, we have to stop making shit up. We have to stop making up racist attacks. Why are we doing this? Why are we making up racist attacks? Do we want to foment a race war? Is that what we want? Do we want to cause problems? Do we want to go to war with white folks? Right? Is that what they want? We got to think about who would benefit from a race war. All right? And it wouldn't be black or white people. Guess who it would be? It would be the elites. It would be the elite cabals, which are made up of Zionists of all colors. Okay? One type of group in particular that's running everything, running the music industry, the entertainment industry, and things like that, the banking industry. We have to think about what we're doing. We can't go out here and make shit up. You understand? And black people, you have to think. You have to use common sense. You got to use critical thinking. You cannot believe everything that's being put out, even by your own people, because it could be the agenda of your own people to foment a race war. You understand? Foment a race war funded by people like George Soros, the Clinton Foundation, Bill Gates, all these other cats, all these other people that don't give a hot damn about you. All you're going to do is create problems for yourself. You're going to create an atmosphere of disastrous behavior. Because guess what these elites can do? They can go underground. They can go underground. They got bunkers and small underground cities and shit like that, where they can just dive under and get out the way and let us kill each other. We have to be careful and we have to be vigilant. We cannot believe every story. We have to wait for all the facts to come out. I'm not saying, getting kind of warm with this thing. I'm not saying this young woman made it up. I'm not saying that. But certain things don't add up. We have to be careful about what we say, what we do, and what we believe. We have to wait for all the facts to come out. Just like in the converse, right? Conversely, we can't just believe something is not racist. We have to wait for the facts to come out. You see, you got people that come out and say, oh, that's not racist. You got people come out and say, oh, that's racist automatically. And the people that believe it's not racist, they'll come out and say it's not racist without someone mentioning that. So we have to be careful. Okay? If this really happened, that's a big problem. And trust me, I believe that there are people out there, white people out there, that are just itching to kill them some Negroes. Believe you me, I actually believe that is the case. But I also believe that there may be some black people that are itching to kill some whiteys. You know what I mean? There's psychopaths on both sides. But what we have to do, those of us who have a mind to think and have common sense and critically think, and what do I always say? That word, what's that word? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You have to be able to look deeper into things and step back and see all the details and pick out the anomalies. What's an anomaly? It's something that's out of place, on the fringe, that doesn't make sense, doesn't fit. That's an anomaly. And in this case, with this young woman, it's the fact, where's the lighter? Why didn't you call the police right away? Why didn't you go? There's certain things that you have to think about. All right? So we have to stop we have to stop getting in our emotions all the time. There's nothing wrong with having emotions, but you can't let your emotions rule your decisions. You can't let them rule you in terms of when you make a decision and when you decide to do certain things, okay? Just like fear. I'm not saying that you should not fear things. Just don't let fear rule you. Don't let fear drive you. right? You drive the fear, right? Because what happens when you're scared, when you're afraid? Your adrenaline kicks in, right? What does adrenaline do? It makes you more alert, it makes you stronger, makes you faster. Well, if you channel that fear and that adrenaline, you can make it work for you, where you can counteract as opposed to react. You understand? Counteract, when you counteract something, you are using the energy that's coming towards you to then direct your own energy in the opposite direction in a productive manner. That's counteracting. When you react, you do the opposite. You're letting that fear, that attack, you're letting that attack make you make stupid decisions. So instead of reacting, let's counteract, people. Let's counteract. Counteracting takes a little bit more sharper skills. It takes a little bit more mental acuity. It takes a little bit more analysis and discernment. That's the word. That's my favorite word, yo. Discernment. So let's use discernment and let's counteract. Let's counteract, right? Just like when you're boxing or when you're fighting, you're counteracting. You're throwing a counter punch, a counter kick, right? Instead of reacting to their punches, because guess what? If you react to a punch coming toward you, it might not even be a punch. It might be a feint. So you're reacting to the feint, and you're getting set up for the real blow, right? As opposed to if you counteract, you instead of reacting to the feint, you kind of shift a little bit, and then you understand that it's a feint, and your mind calculates everything in a way where you know that something else is coming, something that they want to actually land. So you counteract that, right? So instead of reacting like that, right, you can kind of shift back, right, and prepare for the actual blow. That's just an example of what it is to counteract, right? So let's say they feint a jab, boom, you can kind of go like that, right? But they're actually going to throw a cross that they want to land. So now your hand is here, you can parry that cross, or you can parry that cross. See, you react to the feint, or you move to the feint, right? The feint is coming this way, right? Usually you'll parry the feint, or parry the jab with your right hand if you're orthodox. And if they throw a cross, the cross is what they want to land. You're here, you're able to then parry that cross, and then boom, you can go over the top with the overhand or something. Or you can parry and throw a hook, parry, hook, something. As opposed to reacting to the feint like that. Now your guard is down, or you might be like this, now your guard is down, and instead of taking that cross up top, boom, they throw it to the body. They throw a right hook to the body and crack your spleen open. I don't know. Y'all get what I'm saying. I don't want to over explain things, but some people, you need them to explain things a little bit deeper. So instead of reacting, we need to start counteracting. Counteracting information, counteracting attacks, counteracting people's arguments, right? That's what we have to start doing. But in terms of this story here, I put the link to the story in the description. You guys can check it out and tell me, decide for yourself what you think about it. But if this actually did happen, this is getting absolutely ridiculous, yo. I mean, now you have to, now it's a thought of it's a thought of, I have to look over my shoulder. I got to watch everybody. Oh, now I see white people. I got to watch the white people real closely and all this other shit. That's not a way to live. But it is what it is. If this story is real, turns out to be real, some people actually get caught, it's a video or something like that, it could be a big problem. It could be a big problem. But if it turns out not to be real, that's a big problem too. Because now black people will lose more and more credibility in terms of real racial attacks. because those actually happen. All right, there are real racists out there doing real racist shit, and the more of these hoaxes come out, the less credibility we'll have. The more that these people can say, oh, see, there's no such thing as racism. That's so fake. Now everything's fake, right? So we got to be careful. Use discernment, counteract, and go from there, man. Let's stop getting into our emotions so much. Look, there's nothing wrong with being compassionate. Compassion is a good thing. Compassion is what makes you human. All right. It's what separates the sociopaths from the normal people. From the sociopaths and the psychopaths have no compassion. All right. There's nothing wrong with compassion, but you can't let emotion rule you. All right. If this actually happened to this young lady, I feel for it. I have empathy for any victim of an unprovoked crime. Hands down. So that's where I'm at with it. Y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think. Like, share, subscribe, and share. Get this video out. I mean, we need to help people understand how to move about the world in this time, because so many people are reacting. So many people are getting into their emotions. We need to take a step back and look at things a little different. All right. So much love to you guys. Peace out.